Friday Night Lights is the major Ohio State recruiting event each and every summer, and this past Friday, it did not fail to disappoint. Jeremy Birmingham from LettermanRoad.com joins us now. And Jeremy, when we talked last week, we talked quite a bit about the quarterback situation for Ohio State recruiting, both 2019, 2020. Here we are a week later, and it looks like we've got clarity in both classes in terms of quarterbacks.
Yeah, the Buckeyes went into Friday night without an idea of who was on the board, really, at that point. They brought in Brian Maurer from Ocala, Florida, who came in and really impressed the coaching staff in Columbus, earned a scholarship offer from the Buckeyes. But that was sort of the undercard of the weekend, because at Friday Night Lights, as the media was standing outside the Woody Hayes Athletic Center, preparing for players to come out of the camp, out walked Michigan State commitment Dwan Mathis, who was at Ohio State on an official visit. And as I kind of hinted last week, the Buckeyes were working that one pretty hard. And I don't think that they would have welcomed him for an official visit if they didn't think he was going to flip to the Buckeyes, which he did on Sunday night.
He flips. Mark D'Antonio loses out on a highly touted quarterback. What is Dwan Mathis like? I mean, he's not just a pro-style quarterback. He's not a run-pass quarterback. He's a little bit of a combination of both.
Yeah, I mean, he's 6'5". He's 200 pounds, throws the ball really well. The Buckeyes saw him last summer for the first time. He camped there twice, and Ryan Day was really impressed by his ability to get the ball out, to get it down the field. He can move, but he's not a run-first guy, pretty active in the pocket. And, you know, he's up at Oak Park, Michigan, one of the better programs in the state, and he's a winner. The Buckeyes liked what they saw from him a year ago, but they didn't offer because they had just started building that relationship. They offered him in May. He had already been committed to Michigan State since September of last year, so it didn't take them long once they established that there was a scholarship offer to seal the deal and flip him from one of their biggest rivals, which is, you know, a nice double whammy for Michigan State.
It's interesting. You look at the historical sense of it, where Michigan's always been the biggest rival for Ohio State. Yet in the Urban Meyer era, it's been Michigan State who has disrupted more Ohio State seasons than the Maize and Blue have. You also mentioned Maurer got a scholarship offer. Will Ohio State take two quarterbacks in the 2019 class?
I think that they would be okay with it if he still wanted to come in. He did tell the media on Friday night that he was no longer considering Florida because they had already received a quarterback commitment months ago. So whether or not he is consistent with that message, we'll find out. I wouldn't be shocked if the Buckeyes took two in 2019 or 2020 because their quarterback situation is a little thin right now with just Haskins, Tate Martell, and Matt Baldwin, the true freshman. So they're going to take two in one of these classes. I don't know if it'll be 2019 or 2020, but 2020 is about to get their first one as well.
You just hinted at it. The first one for 2020 looks like it's going to be Jack Miller out of Arizona. He left Friday Night Lights certainly sounding like he was going to be an Ohio State commit.
Yeah, Jack was a player who, again, they saw last summer for the first time. They offered him as a freshman out in Arizona. He threw for 53 touchdowns and 3,700 yards as a true freshman. And then his sophomore year transferred to a Division I school in Arizona, Chaparral High School. Numbers declined a little bit, but the game has not. He's a big kid, 6'4", 200 pounds, runs well, throws a really good ball, a lot of zip. And he camped on Friday for the Buckeyes, and really that was an audition for Urban Meyer to say, are you good enough now for us to say yes? And he was, and he left the campus on Friday and went to Alabama on Saturday, had a brief one-day visit with the Crimson Tide, which from my talks with Jack, it wasn't anything that was enough to change his mind, and I think you'll see him commit to Ohio State within the next week. I'd be shocked if it wasn't done by the end of this coming week.